everybody, and welcome back to Movie Files. Elliot here with a brand new review for the Netflix miniseries When They See Us, which premiered on Netflix, I want to say May 31st, so about a week and a half ago. And yes, better late than never. Long story short, Morgan and I watched the first episode that Friday. She had to go out of town for the weekend. She said, do not watch it without me because she wanted to finish it with me. So last week was crazy. We didn't get a chance to finish it, but we just finished it this past weekend, and I'm here to share with you all my thoughts on this. I'll just say it right now, this amazing miniseries on Netflix. So before I get into my thoughts, I want to welcome all those who are new to Movie Files. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to our channel. We have so much on this channel, from movie reviews, TV reviews, trailer reactions, unboxing videos. We have a giveaway right now going away for Captain Marvel. So definitely subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with those videos. But with that being out of the way, let's get into this review for When They See Us. So let's get into this review here. So this is going to be very different from when I do like movie reviews and some of the TV reviews that we do on this channel. I really just want to do this and just express my thoughts with you all on what I thought of this, like I said, amazing miniseries on Netflix. And Netflix, you know, one of the things, I'm going to say this up front, one of the things that's going to keep Netflix afloat, even with a Disney Plus on the horizon and Amazon and Hulu growing with Disney now, is things like this is really going to set Netflix apart from those other contents and other platforms, especially Disney Plus. Disney Plus is not going to go rated R and go deep into these type of justice type of stories and these really dark and gritty type of stories. So I think this is what's going to make Netflix separate itself from the pack. Starting off top, Ava DuVernay, who co-wrote this script, who directed every episode, who was an executive producer with a lot of other amazing producers that was on board, from Oprah Winfrey to Robert De Niro, and there's so many great talents that were involved in this project. But Ava DuVernay, first and foremost, she's one of my favorite people on earth. I follow her on a lot of her social media accounts, especially Twitter. She's very social. She's very has a lot of great insight on a lot of the things that go on in America today and just around the world in general. So I'm a big fan of her as a person, even though I never met her in person. Just her persona, how she carries herself on social media platforms, I love. But her as a artist, as a director, as a writer, I love her work. Minus the one little film, which you can see my review on that film, which came out almost 2 years ago, A Wrinkle in Time. Wasn't a fan of that film. Wasn't necessarily her direction. It's just, I just didn't like the movie. But nevertheless, everything other than that has been phenomenal. And this is another thing to put on her resume. From beginning to end, the way she directs this series, the way she tells the story, the way she shoots the emotional, the gritty, the heartbreaking scenes is just next level. Again, I am such a fan of how she portrays herself and how she brings stories like this to the big screen, or in this case, a small screen on Netflix. But she just did a phenomenal job from the direction standpoint and also co-writing the script. But I just really want to start this off with Ava DuVernay. If you're watching this somehow, if you guys share this video to her, thank you for your amazing craftsmanship on putting this together. Phenomenal. Jumping into the actual story beats. So I was familiar with the Central Park 5, not as much as obviously from learning from this miniseries, but I was familiar with the story. But the way they tell the stories is broken down in 4 episodes, and each episode kind of touches on different parts of the case. So episode 1, we deal with the actual, what happens with the jogger and everything that goes, that particular night, and kind of introducing the characters. And then the rest of the episode kind of breaks down them being just completely taken advantage of and this isn't a police justice thing. I'm not talking about the police as a whole. I'm talking about the police that are involved in this individual story. The police did such a horrible job of what they did to these kids, aging from the age of 14 to 16. 42 straight hours of interviewing them, abusing them, making them say things that weren't true was just so heartbreaking. I mean, within the first 20, 30 minutes, I am literally just like so mad watching what's going on with these kids and how no one thought that this was bad. I mean, everyone involved was, it was characters obviously in the show that we introduced, especially in episode 4, that did not believe that, what they were accused of. But it was just so heartbreaking to see what they went through that first episode. And then leading into episode 2, when we actually get into the trial, and you think, we obviously know it's a true story, so you knew how things turned out, but it was a little bit of hope, the way they were kind of, shifting the story and how the things played out within the court. But then they get the verdict that they were guilty, and seeing the different the interactions amongst the kids and then their family. So that was really great. And also too, and I'm going to talk about the acting, but the kids up to episode 2 were just so phenomenal. Every member, every cast member. I'm going to talk about the cast in a little bit, but just first episodes 2 in, the first 2 episodes were just phenomenal on an acting scale. But then jump into the 3rd episode where we actually see the kids in the kind of transition into their adulthood, and then that was just so heartbreaking to see just how their life, how their childhood was just stripped away from them, and how they have to adjust to where they are getting out of prison. Some of them getting out of prison and just looking for jobs and looking for relationships, not just amongst their friends and family, but just having physical relationships with other women and how people perceive them. It was just so heartbreaking. In episode 4, and again, I'm going to talk about the performances, but episode 4 is solely focused on Corey's story, which again, I'm going to talk about the acting, but that was some of the best acting I've ever seen on film in regards to just a young up-and-coming actor who really dove deep into this character. It was such a well-crafted episode. Again, one of the best episodes of television I've seen in a very long time. Definitely one of my favorite episodes of anything. I really enjoyed episode 4. But now kind of, again, just the way the story was told, again, from 1 to 4, the episodes ranging from an hour and 10 minutes up to an hour and a half. I enjoyed how they did that. It wasn't necessarily too much going on. It was just the perfect amount of story that was given to us, a perfect amount of character development, giving us enough of, giving us behind the scenes of what they went through in the trial, what they went through after trial. I just thought that the story was really well told. But now jumping into the best part of the show, other than the directing, the acting. There's so many supporting cast members. I won't be able to name them all, but the cast was great, from the horrible detectives that was on this case to the prosecutor played by Vera Farmiga, who I'm a big fan of, and just on and on, from Marsha Logan Green, Michael K. Williams. I mean, the supporting cast, the parents were just phenomenal. But I really want to focus on the characters by Antoine, Kevin, Yusuf, Raymond, and Corey. From them being younger, the acting was just on point, A++, award winning, and then the adult version was just as good, if not better. But the standout for me is by far Jerome, I believe his name is. I'm sorry, I'm butchering his name, but that I've seen him in Moonlight. His performance, and I love that they didn't recast him as an adult version. They kept him, the same character that played Kevin or Corey when he was 16, all the way up to him being an adult, was played by the same actor. That performance by him is Emmy winning, because it is a show, so they should be nominated for an Emmy. He deserves all the awards. His performance was just so amazing. And I was telling Morgan, because we got really emotional from all the episodes were emotional, but from 3 and 4, especially 4, we were sitting there crying, looking at each other like, man, this is such an amazing performance from it's all in the eyes with this character. And it's just, from his, the way he delivered his lines, the way he just was kind of kept, his emotions in, so when he let emotions out, the story with his brother, the story with his mom, his relationships, it was just so well done. Again, the gentleman that played Corey, Jharrel, I should have wrote his name down, but I believe his name is Jharrel Jerome, if I'm not mistaken. Such a great actor. I'm so excited to see his career blossom from this role. Again, he was great in Moonlight for the scenes that he was, smaller role in that film, important role, but small role. But seeing him in this, God damn, that man! I believe he's like 21. That kid is a phenomenal actor, and I'm really looking forward to his performances moving on. But he was just so great in this series. Jumping into some other positive, again, the way it was shot, the delivery of the lines, the script, the structure of the story was just all hands down phenomenal. If there were any negatives, if I were to say, there really wasn't. I'm trying to think of any negatives other than it's not necessarily a binge-worthy show for me, at least. Like, watching all 4 episodes in one sitting to me would have been hard. So it's not necessarily negative, it's just suggestion at this point. But I wouldn't say, for me, I couldn't watch all 4 episodes because it was so heartbreaking watching one episode. I needed a breather. I needed to take a day or 2 before I watched the next episode, because it was just that heartbreaking to watch those 5 kids get their childhood ripped away from them, and then seeing them as adults still being, to this very day, they're still being accused of what they did, even though, and not giving too much away, but even though we find out what happens and the end result of how they were found to be not guilty. But man, again, just wrapping up this review. Sorry if I'm all over the place. Again, this is just such a great show. I highly, highly recommend you all watching this miniseries on Netflix. When They See Us is available now on Netflix. It's one of the best things I've seen on Netflix, and one of the best things I've seen in 2019, whether it be film, television, anything. This is one of the best things I've seen so far, and I hope it wins all the awards, from the directing, the writing, the acting. Again, the kid that played Corey was so phenomenal, so I couldn't recommend this enough. Let me know in the comments if you all seen this series, and let me know your thoughts on it. As far as the good and the bad, what you knew of the series prior, or this case prior to watching the episode, and were you surprised by some of the stuff that you saw in this miniseries? So let me know in the comments. Again, like I said up top, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell to stay up to date with our latest TV reviews, trailer reactions, movie reviews, giveaways, and all that fun stuff. So definitely do so. Again, we're running a contest right now for a digital code giveaway of Captain Marvel. So check out that video, see how you can win that. We will be doing more reviews, more trailer reactions in the next few days. So definitely keep an eye out for that content. Again, I love this show. I couldn't recommend it enough. Thank you all for watching this review, and we'll see you in the next video.